Life on Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota can be harsh. It's poor, it's dangerous, and there are few prospects for girls and young women. But women of the Lakota tribe are taking their lives in their future and their future into their own hands, offering the young generation of women new opportunities.
Patience and her sister AJ live in one of the poorest communities in the United States, Pine Ridge Reservation in the U.S. state of South Dakota.
Take it to the gate, take it to the gate.
Patience is 10 years old. Most of her life she's been shuttled between her relatives' homes because her parents are not always present in her life.
I mostly go to my grandma's. She took care of me for 2 years. Here you go, you can have the puppy back. Before my grandma took me, I used to have an uncle that took care of me. He got buried out close to Red Cloud School. Yeah, I only go see him once in a while, but I didn't really see him because it's sad for me.
Patience's great-grandfather hasn't been able to find employment for months. Electric heating is expensive, so they supplement with burning wood.
Her and I, that's 4 generations.
I'm the Lakota woman. Right. Say yes.
Say Lakota.
Lakota.
We here are the Oglala Lakota band. We got a mean loss of identity here due to forced assimilation.
The Lakota tribe were buffalo hunters. They roamed these plains freely for thousands of years. From the late 19th to mid-20th century, U.S. federal policy forced indigenous people to assimilate. The policy called for removing Lakota and other tribes' children from their homes, as well as forbidding them from performing cultural ceremonies and speaking their native languages. They were forced into farming and to live on reservations. Native Americans have gained back some rights, but many still choose to live on reservations where life remains harsh. Pine Ridge Reservation is a geographically isolated place where resources are scarce and crime is rampant. The unemployment rate is 80%. Drugs and alcohol, disappearances of young women, and the absence of law enforcement are all part of life here.
Thank you.
The women of the Lakota tribe are trying to take their lives and their future in their own hands.
I speak for our reservation because this is where I've been. We have to support one another. And we have to bring that together for our daughters and our future.
That's why I feel like these programs are so important, to teach our young girls to have pride in themselves and who they are and how to protect and understand their sacredness.
They are working with the Indigenous Adolescent Girls Empowerment Network, Imagine, to create girl societies on the reservation, safe places in each neighborhood where girls can go every week to have fun, talk about problems, and pursue opportunities.
With the historical oppression that Native American people have experienced here in the U.S., family structures are often broken down, and so girls have a lot more on their plates than boys do in terms of pregnancy risk, in terms of dropping out of school, in terms of having to shoulder the responsibilities of heading a family.
Girl societies are not out of place in Native culture.
The matrilineal traditions in many Native cultures meant there were women's societies to get things done. Gender is really such a core piece of who we are as Native people. You know, women have particular strengths and men have particular strengths. We have like roles that we play, and that's how we've survived.
At the first informational meeting, Patience and her friends are curious.
How this really works is through mentoring. We want to make sure girls are able to learn about our culture. They're able to learn about the ceremonies.
You'll also learn skills too, like how to prepare to get into college, how to get scholarships.
When Patience grows up, she wants to be a U.S. Air Force pilot like her aunt.
She said it was a little hard to fly because there's a whole bunch of buttons. I'm like, but I think I can get him in my head because I'm really strong, so I can do it. And then I also want to have a good house and a good life, and sometimes take care of my grandpa. Yeah.
programs like these may help girls like Patience turn their dreams for a better future into reality. Victoria Kupchinetsky, VOA News, South Dakota.
Co-presented by Skoda. Simply clever.